cultured, Logan.
I am
You're so
cultured.
cultured.
Speaking of cultured, welcome to the Master of Unlocking podcast, where we are here to talk about all of your fast food delicacies, including the prime rib from Hardees. I mean, we just got to get right into it every week. It's the thing I'm most excited about is our fast food things,
I remember when this used to be a TV and video game podcast,
and now it's
and
just all
Logan
fast
was
food.
kind of excited about that. But now that we've entered the fast food review, Logan is he
I'm
can't wait every week. He's
I'm
all
all
in.
about it. Let's do it.
There's gonna
So,
be a theme song next week. It's gonna be
oh
great.
gosh, we're gonna have like fast food review. I know.
There it was.
I know.
Look at
There it
that.
is.
On demand.
Hey, it's there. All right. Let's start. Caleb. What did you go with? Because we had three
Uh,
options. We had this. We had the burger, the burrito, and the biscuit.
yeah, I didn't get over there for breakfast, so
Oh, okay.
so the burger.
Okay. So that is describe the burger for the prime rib Hardee's burger.
The burger is a standard Hardee's thick burger.
So like a third
About,
pound. Is that right?
I think that's right.
Mhm.
About maybe like 4 slices of what they're calling prime rib. Who knows what exactly that actually is?
Mhm.
And then some sautéed onions and cheddar cheese, melted cheddar cheese.
Okay.
Did I get everything? Is that everything?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, you ate the burger. I did not. So
Okay, what'd you get?
I did the biscuit. The biscuit was prime rib, some sort of white cheese. I'm not exactly sure what the white cheese was, and then a fried egg. So not the traditional scrambled egg, but a fried egg on that between the biscuit.
I
Jason, what?
believe it is
It
Swiss.
was the Swiss. Okay, I'm not
I
100%
believe
sure what it was. It was
I
very
did.
melty.
It was almost not like a slice consistency, more melty.
Hmm.
So I think it was like a melty Swiss. It might be the same Swiss they put on their Arby's knockoffs.
The ham and Swiss,
Yeah, I think
which
yeah.
does melt surprisingly good for a Swiss.
I think that's the same cheese.
Okay.
So Logan and I had the same thing, and Caleb had lunch, dinner.
Yeah. So Caleb, let's go to your review of the prime rib burger.
I I think it needed more stuff on it.
Okay,
I think it needed some veggies or something.
because
It
it just had the
didn't.
sautéed onion.
Yeah, it was just onions.
Mm,
It was weird. I don't know. It was okay. I would not order it again. But it was fine. The cheddar cheese has, as fast food cheddar cheese always does, has a weird taste to it.
mm.
So and that mixed with the just mouthful of onions was a little off-putting,
Makes you
but
wonder if they should have put that melted Swiss on there instead. I think that would have gone better with those with the onions too. Hmm.
maybe. Yeah, it was okay. I would say we're probably at about like a 6 out of 10.
Okay, I can't judge you on that because I didn't have it. So, Jason, you and I had the biscuit though. Uh, I want to hear your review first because I know how mine is. So.
So the Hardee's biscuits, like it's got to be the best fast food thing
It
ever.
is. Yeah,
Those
yeah.
biscuits.
Those
So
biscuits
I'm
are
trying to separate my love for the biscuit
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of it, because I mean, if you put anything on a Hardee's biscuit, whether it's sweet or savory, it's amazing. Like
Yeah.
it's the way it is. So this to me was like it was like secret roast beef, like lunch meat roast beef
Mm-hmm.
instead of prime rib, you know.
Yeah, I
But
guess I didn't actually comment on the prime rib itself, but I totally agree with that.
it's roast beef, right?
It's
And
a high class roast beef, I guess, if you want to call it that. Like
I am
Maybe a
not
little
sure I would
thicker.
use the
cut.
word class.
Okay,
But
it's yeah for fast food though. A thicker cut roast beef, maybe.
Yeah.
it's not the wet. It's not the wet like Arby's roast beef, right?
No,
It's more of like a delicatessen, sliced.
and they actually have to
Um,
cook it all the way because most prime rib is it's about 50% done. Let's be honest. I mean, when you order it from somewhere, like if you order a slab
so
of prime rib.
I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay. I'm with Caleb. I wouldn't get it again, but that's because if I'm going to Hardee's for breakfast, I would get something that I love, like a sausage, egg and cheese, or a bacon, egg and cheese, or a gravy and biscuit and gravy. Literally forgot what they call biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, I was like, gravy and biscuit is what I wanted to say. I was like, that's not right.
Like it's not a McBiscuit and gravy, or McDonald's. I think still just calls it biscuits and gravy too. Do they even still sell biscuits and gravy at McDonald's?
Ooh, I don't know actually. If you have the app, you can look probably. Everything
but it would
everything
be.
is in their app.
It's not the time. I wonder if it would be time for like if I could order breakfast. It may not allow me to.
It may not, yeah. So anyway, I would say 6 is probably fine. 6 out of 10. Just because I thought it was like, roast beef, but it wasn't bad in my opinion.
Okay, so I have a small story behind mine. So I went and got it. I went into work, got it, but then I had to. I just went into work for one quick thing, and then was coming home. And since I don't really eat breakfast a lot anymore, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to save this for lunch. So I took it and I threw it in the fridge, and then put it in the toaster oven, so it was a little more properly cooked instead of just microwaving it. And then, but I got to tell you, there was something I think in the way that maybe the cheese had originally melted, coagulated, and then unmelted again or melted again, that made that sandwich extraordinary. I don't know what it was about it, but it was something with the cheese.
You got me. I thought you were going the other way with that.
No,
I was.
It was incredible. 9 out of 10. Like that's how much I loved it. I'm going back for another. I feel like I have to give it a second chance. And with the way that you get it right out of the bag, I don't know.
You might need to film a react video for us. You might need to just, I don't know, we'll put like arrows and circles on the thumbnail, and you like doing one of those, some food troll clickbait.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of like knowing that you loved it that much, but you had this weird like enhancement you added to it, this augment. You augmented your
sandwich. But it wasn't intentional, I guess. It was like I didn't think that would actually make a difference. But yeah, there was something about the way the cheese, like, because I went to pull it up and it was like this. It was not really melted, but kind of melted. Like it was. I don't know what it was, but it was. It probably wasn't healthy, whatever it was. but it worked, and I was like, "This is incredible." I don't know why, but I love this. So
wow, okay.
I knew I was going to be probably in the minority in that, but I did like it a lot. I don't know why.
Well, you're set up for success because you love that. I
love Hardee's biscuits to begin with, so that's So I really didn't have a problem loving it to begin with. At the same time, if you asked me what a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit score was, it's probably a 9 too. So I mean, it's tied with the sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit for me. So this is not like it's taken over some sort of incredible thing. Now the Hardee's biscuits and gravy is a full 10. Like that's a full 10 for me. So
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
As far as fast food breakfast goes, that's a 10 out of 10.
Did anybody come prepared for the next week's assignment? I just realized I'm kind of panicking a little bit because I didn't think about it at all.
I have a suggestion if nobody else does, but go if you have.
Yeah, I've got a couple ideas in the back of my head, but if you got something, Caleb, go for it.
Let's let Caleb do this week. Caleb, go.
The new thing that I saw that came out this week is that Subway actually has 2 new sandwiches. They have a Frank's Red Hot Buffalo Chicken and a barbecue chicken sandwich.
I'm in. I'll take care of the Franks. In fact, I gotta go right now. Oh, they're closed. Never mind.
I don't think I've had Subway in maybe 5 years.
Okay. Well, this is a good one then, I think. Right?
I was just thinking. I'm like, I can't really honestly tell you the last time I had Subway.
Unless your reason for that is that you just hate Subway.
There was a time I believe I threw up after eating Subway, and but it was not. You'll be fine. Been with the chicken. Okay.
You'll be all right.
You'd be all right. Yeah, I agree. You'd be fine.
I'll
It's
be
fine.
fine. Okay, I'll figure this out. I'll get so they're the new chicken sandwiches at Subway. All right.
Yeah, either the red hot or the barbecue. Take your pick.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm ready.
All
I'm
right.
in.
Okay. And who knows what'll show up next week? I mean, it could be anything. I mean, it's
Yeah.
fast food. We have no idea what it's going to be. So, all right. Moving on. I guess we'll go into games. Anybody played anything? I don't know. I shouldn't say new, but well, Caleb, will start up with you because you're up in the corner up there. What have you been playing this week?
Really just more 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I've been playing.
Okay,
I'm
that's Japanese high school game, right?
high school robots, future time travel, talking cat.
So,
Yeah, all the Japanese things
yep,
in there,
that
all of them.
that game. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like 13 hours in, and I'm at, I think it said it was about at 60% completion.
Okay.
So I
20-ish
bet you by
hours.
next week I'll be there. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The story is going all over the place. It's you pick up, so there's 13 characters and you switch between them
The
to see their
Sentinels.
stories. Yep, they're the Sentinels.
Mm.
And you kind of you go pieces at a time with their stories, and you get at a certain point you get roadblocked until you fill out other people's stories. So it kind of forces you to poke around to different
Mm.
people and see what they were doing, and there's a lot of twists and turns. I finished one of the character stories, so I have 12 more to go. But I'm pretty close on a couple other ones too. So I'll have more to wrap that up probably next week. But yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Do you enjoy the strategy game element of that as much as you do the story, or is it equal between both? Like what keeps you engaged with this to the point where you haven't put it down?
I honestly haven't done a ton of the strategy side yet because you unlock for the visual novel part, you unlock points that you can spend on upgrades for the strategy layer part. So I've just been doing the visual novel part and then just like banking up tons and tons of points, and then I'll go back into the actual gameplay part and just dominate everything.
So it has that that approach lessened the has lessened the stress of that part of the game because
Yeah.
you're there for the story, you're there for the
Yeah.
narrative.
And
Okay.
there are a couple more higher difficulties. So if you're the type of person that wants that challenge, it's there for you, but nothing's going to actually require it. So I'm going to make it as easy as possible on myself.
Got
I'll
it.
be curious to see when you're done with that how you feel, like where that fits in for you this year. Like you spent
Yeah.
time with it, you enjoyed it, or if it's really a top 10 contender for you.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, Jason, what have you been doing?
If you want do you want new stuff, old stuff? What do you want? What do you want to cover first?
I think it's gonna be a light week, so at least as for new
Uh,
Yeah,
content. So
catch us up on the old stuff first, and then
okay,
move on
yeah,
to the
okay.
new stuff.
That's the because the old stuff is probably quick, right?
yeah, quick hits, yeah.
I continue to play Spiritfarer here and there.
Mhm.
It's something that's kid friendly, so I can pick that up and play it for 20, 30 minutes at a time.
Mhm.
Also, it's really easy to pick up and put down. That's
Mhm.
another strength of that game. I think I have 4 characters. I'm about to get 5 on my boat.
Okay.
Um, and I really like the unique nature of those characters. They're all different, and
Mhm.
they're all. I haven't been annoyed yet by some of them, so I'm interested to see if I get there, like you were talking about, Logan. But
Mhm.
everybody's like charming in their own way, and they've all got their baggage. It's all very, it's not like we play a lot of games that are like the stakes are so high and things are so dire, and this being a game about passing away, like the things that these characters are carrying with them is
Mhm.
like the emotional baggage of their life.
Because they're normal
And
people, yeah.
yeah, I like
Mhm.
I think that's what I like about it is they come to you with a very human problem. And I don't mean that as a pun because none of them are human, right? Or at least wise in this plane, they're not
Mhm.
human. Um, I really like that game a lot. I'm finding it as like I can intermittently go back to that while playing other things
It,
and still enjoy it.
it's a nice cool
So
down. That's for
yeah,
sure.
that's a good way of putting it. Um, and then I played one other game before I get to the new thing. Um, Avengers. I finished Avengers. I was on the last mission when we talked,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, we were
that
real
was
close last time, I think.
Yeah, I think you were
yeah.
on the last one. Yeah.
I think the following evening I finished that up
Mhm.
and returned it. Um, that game is fine.
Fine is the
Um,
way to say it. It's fine.
yeah, that game's fine. Um, I hope people that actually play it enjoy the loop and enjoy the loot grind, and um, hopefully there's people out there that enjoy it. But if there aren't, like I could see how that game may come and go pretty
I'm
quickly.
hearing that the online numbers are dwindling very quickly.
Yeah,
It's
they
So I'm not
were.
not.
surprised.
The news story was that there
Yeah,
were less than 1,000 people on the PC version, so it's not good.
Mm-mm.
it's not. It's
The online loop
it's a
is
tough
bad.
problem to solve. It's a tough problem to
Hmm.
solve too because the game itself isn't great.
No.
And the light bulb went off for me last week when you
Mm.
said, "Well, you've got all these different types of heroes, but they're all constrained in the same environment."
Mm-hmm.
And that I was like, "Oh, of course, that's why it doesn't work." Like, of course. And I didn't. That is a. I think that's an impossible problem to solve with
Mm-hmm.
games where they are now, where those previous dungeon crawler games from PS2 Xbox era and then into 360 PS3 era,
Mm-hmm.
like those Marvel games, X-Men Legends and Marvel Ultimate Alliance were good, but also those constraints made sense at the time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And now it's a tough
it's
problem to solve.
it's tough because I think the movies do a good job of showing that some superheroes are just more powerful than others. That's just the way,
Mm-hmm.
that's just their nature. But that's like completely contrary to what you have to do with a game. You have to make them all equal, which then is a weird balance between like
Mm-hmm.
the things that I know versus the things I'm seeing.
If they would have made that game a little more set piece designed towards a character, I think it would have made more sense. The fact that they tried
Yeah,
to do this whole co-op thing and make it a loot game, it just doesn't work. If they would have said like, all right, here's your Iron Man missions, here's your Black Widow missions, here's your Captain America missions, and designed them
yeah.
for
If
those
you
characters, it's a completely different story.
if you would go through a level as Black Widow and struggle, against a small group of enemies, and then in the very next level you have hundreds of dudes you're mowing down with Thor, like that would make a whole lot more sense, right?
Hmm. Yeah, and if that you're exactly like you're doing stuff with Black Widow that Black Widow is supposed to be doing. She's a spy. She's supposed to be getting into, small areas, taking out people, hacking stuff. Like that's her job. Captain America, he's going to be on the front lines beating up some guys, but Thor's going to be taking on, thousands at once, just like you said. Iron Man's going to be flying over to some other crazy place. Like use their strengths. Don't
Yeah.
yeah, don't handcuff them into certain things just because that's what you had to make the game around. So it stinks that it's that way. But I mean, at the same time, though, I think the reason why we could look at why we liked Black Widow, they had to massively enhance her to try to keep up with everybody. So it was like, yeah, she's a ridiculous badass in this game, and who doesn't want to be somebody that's more overpowered than what their usual character is? So maybe that's the why she was more fun to play.
Yeah.
She's got a little bit of Dante in her, and
Yeah.
it's that's and of course that's fun,
Mhm.
like
And
that's
that
just
and that grappling hook was a lot of fun to be able to use for her. Like to just you could grappling hook two people, you could pull people to you. That was fun. Too bad the rest of the game was.
yeah. I think that's the last time until maybe the end of the year that I talk about that game. I wish it
Mm.
was better, and I'm not surprised that even fans of that universe are falling off because the game's just it's one of the weaker that I've finished this year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so then that leads me to a new game. I already put it in our chat, or else I would have had you guys guess. Logan, did you see what I put in there?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Caleb, do you
I
know what I
did. So
played that's
Logan,
new?
if you want to guess, go
Logan,
for it.
let me set the stage.
Mm-hmm.
If I was going to play a new game this week,
Mm-hmm.
what game would that be?
Like it was new-ish this week?
It's new this month. I think it's the game. I think is 2 weeks old or 3 weeks old.
You wouldn't have played Star Wars Squadrons. That's not your thing.
That is correct. I might play that, but that you are correct. It was not that.
Oh, you were talking about it last week, Mafia.
There you go. Yes, well
Yeah.
done. Ding ding.
Mm-hmm.
I played Mafia Definitive Edition. I am almost done with it. It is 20 chapters. It's fairly short. It's very true to the 2003 version of Mafia. From my understanding, I didn't play that version.
Okay.
It's kind of like putting on a warm pair of pajamas. This game, it's very cozy and comfortable in a way that I didn't think that I wanted out of an open world game. You remember when you couldn't walk in anywhere in an open world game, or go through any windows, or interact with any NPCs, or have to craft a ton of stuff, or do a million side missions for individual side characters? It's none of that. It is a polished, recreated open world game from the aughts, and I have zero problems with it. Like, you drive to your place, the world is beautiful, the cars are beautiful, the graphics are very nice. The voice acting's pretty rough. It's the weakest part of the game for sure, and it's interesting that the voice acting is so. Yeah,
did they redo
yeah,
it?
yeah. So because they needed to do facial capture for it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's weird because the fidelity of this is pretty high, and then you get to the voice acting, and it's a little rough. So I was surprised. Like, I really enjoy just driving from point to point and doing the mission, and the mission is very dumbed down. Like, you either punch someone or you shoot someone, and that's the only outcome. Like, that's it. There's nothing else that you could possibly do gameplay wise. It's fine. It's like a 7, in my opinion. And
so you said
I
there's
think
20 chapters, but like how long is it taking you to get through a lot of this?
I think I will beat this in under 10 hours.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I think it might even be. I think my playtime might be close to 8 by the time I'm done with it. If you want to finish a game in 2020 that looks nice, Mafia is for you. Like, if you want to feel a sense of accomplishment that you beat a video game that is just above mediocre. Like,
just
I know that's not a
ringing
mediocre, but it's fine. Like, it's totally
it's okay.
fine. Like,
it
is better than the Avengers, in my opinion.
Okay, I told you to play Avengers based on that, so
I think it's a lot of that comes from the visuals. I think it's visually very strong. The gameplay is not great.
Dated?
It's kind of like it's like an early GTA cover shooter, and the focus of the game is really on the cutscenes. The story is telling. Like, it's inspired by the typical stuff. It's inspired by the Untouchables and the Godfather trilogy and the movies you think it would be inspired by. It's kind of interesting. I think some of that genre has gotten better over time. I think Boardwalk Empire is like my favorite Prohibition era piece of whatever I'm trying to say. Piece of fiction, creative fiction. And I think some of that has gotten stronger over time, especially since this story was originally told. But good for them; they didn't feel like they needed to change it. It's the same story, same game, and it's okay. It's fine. I don't think it would. I was looking at it. I've really enjoyed it. I don't think I've enjoyed it enough for it to crack my top 10. But I feel good about it, especially because, like, I could see it through and I didn't hate it, and I enjoyed looking at it. It looks really nice.
Hmm.
That's it.
Is there other stuff to do in it besides the main missions, or no?
No.
It's just you
No.
go to the mission and do it. Okay.
No. Yeah, no. That's it. You can drive around or you can do the missions.
Got it.
And and for whatever reason, I was like, "Oh, I remember this. I remember when open world games were like this.
Mafia
You go to
2 is
point
kind of
A and
like that,
point B."
actually.
Yes, it's a lot like Mafia 2.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't play Mafia 1 then before I played 2, but it is just like 2. There's nothing else to do. And by the time 2 came around, we were starting to see some of that extra stuff in other games, but it's just like that, Caleb. You do it, you watch a cutscene, you watch some really nicely rendered
That's what I'm
guys
looking
talk to
at.
each other,
Yeah.
and that's it. And the story's not it's not trash. It's not
Okay. I was
it's
gonna
not
ask,
terrible.
are
It's fine.
so the stories and the characters actually are propelling you through. You're not finishing it for the sake of completing it. You do want to see the end of it.
I do now. Yeah, for the overall story, I do now. But I would also understand if someone said, "Ooh, this isn't resonating with me." You know, like I would totally get that. If it's not for you, I think that like we talk about a lot, like matters of taste.
Mm-hmm.
There's things that we enjoy. I enjoy gangster fiction enough to enjoy the world and want to see it through. But that's just because I'm into that stuff. I like mob documentaries and,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, Boardwalk Empire and The Untouchables and the Godfather trilogy. I'm obsessed with that. So like, yeah, of course I would like something set in this world. But if somebody doesn't really like that stuff as much as I do, I could see like, this is fine, but I don't want to finish it, and I would totally respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
I
Right
would not.
now,
I would take someone to task if they said it didn't look great, like because I think it looks pretty good.
Just based on the screenshots I'm looking at, that looks real nice. So if it
Yeah, it looks
moves
good.
just as nice as it looks, I mean, yeah. So
There is some frame rate issues. There's some animation hitch when you're playing it. Like the cover shooter elements aren't great. It's not perfect in that regard. It's really not. But the cutscenes alone are like woo, and the driving looks real good.
right now I had separated games into kind of three tiers. Like
Hmm.
number one is I absolutely have to finish this by the end of the year because will it will compete for GOTY.
mm-hmm.
Tier two is maybe it'll be on the edge of a list or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think this is going to be in that tier three category then of the if there's time and I'm looking for something to fill time, then I'll
Yeah.
pick this up. After hearing what you said about it, I think it was between a two and a three, and I think you moved it to the three for me.
You would finish it. You could finish it, Caleb, in a weekend. Like
Yeah,
if you're looking just to kind of zone out and play something for a little bit, like and finish it, you would be done with it. Same thing for you, Logan. Like if you're
Mm-hmm.
looking for we talk about it like a game that is not too ambitious with its time,
Yeah.
then you at least wise know you're going to see the end of something.
Yeah.
Whereas you and I have had to, especially this year, pick and choose like
Different
God,
things. Yeah.
what do I have room for a 60-hour game
Mm-hmm.
for? Like, okay, I can't play all of the 60-hour games that have come out this year. I've got
No,
to
it's just
choose.
not possible. Yeah.
Right. So this is a game you can get through. But having said that,
Mm-hmm.
it may not be the best. Like maybe you're better off playing half of a better game than spending 8 to 10 hours with Mafia. You know. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I like it, but that's just because you know it fits my taste. So
Taste is a thing. That's for sure.
Mr. Hostman.
It's me. So game wise, I've only been playing one thing. I didn't really, but that's not because I pretty much didn't even play anything for like 5 days. I don't know what. Just was watching TV, I guess.
it happens.
It happens. But I started playing Hades.
And
Oh, he perked up.
I want to know. I want to know what you think about that because then if both of you are really excited about Hades, then that kind of tells me where I need to be.
I like Hades. I don't love Hades. I like Hades.
how many
Uh,
runs are you in?
oh, I'm gonna guess 10ish.
Okay. It did take me about 5 to 6 runs before it really started to click
I
for me. So
have
I wanted to make sure you were over that
so I
initial
have the
hump.
spear,
Okay.
and I've beat Megara. I have
Okay.
not beat Aquiles or the next boss. I have not beat
I don't
him
even
yet.
think I've gotten to the next boss.
I got to him. He kicked my ass real fast because I didn't have much life left. I'm learning, as you talk to the dumb guy in the middle, and now that I've actually took a little bit of time today to go, oh hey, what should you like read like a couple of articles about, hey, what should you do when you're starting Hades? That was probably something I should have read, 3 hours ago, in that game. Well, I don't even know if I played it 3 hours. I'd probably put in like maybe two. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of little mechanics with that game, but the gameplay of it itself is very fun. It's very simple. You have a dash, an attack, a special, and a cast. Uh, I don't think I ever use cast at all. I forget that I have it. Um,
I only do it when when I get really good upgrades for it. I'll
yeah,
start using it.
yeah. But then like depending on how my upgrades are going, I always tend to focus more on attack and dash. I seem to do more attack and dash than I do anything else. Because your dash is also an attack, Jason. So this way, it's like because you can dash through people. So that's a good part of that. I really like that spear though because it has a lot of because you can throw the spear and then it comes back and gets back damage too, or is it
It also,
backstab damage?
if the enemy's not armored, you can stun lock them with the spear too, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So I mean, yeah, obviously it was nice to see some new enemies in the second area, because I was kind of annoyed with getting, or it was like, oh, well, these same enemies over and over again. Uh, but yeah, the thing that I think I like about it the most is for it being a roguelite type thing, the conversations are never the same.
Yeah.
Like you have conversations with people with voice actors too. This isn't just reading text. Like they've recorded a lot of lines of dialogue in this game, and none of them seem inconsequential. Like they all seem to have a story to tell, and it's from characters because it's all Greek gods, so you know who they are. You know their basic idea and background to begin with, but all of their motivations are slightly different. You don't really know who. I mean, you're the son of Hades, so you're the prince of hell, and you're just trying to get out. And the gods of Olympus are trying to help you get out. And you're not exactly sure why the gods of Olympus are trying to help you out, but you're slowly figuring it out over time. Um, and the further you move in, the more stuff you learn. So every run, you essentially learn something new, even
I
though you
think
may have a shitty run.
that's one of the reasons why I like it a lot, even bouncing off of most roguelikes, is because you actually have a reason to die. Like you'll learn
Right.
more the next death you come through because you can talk to everybody again and they'll say something different. So like when I die, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Now I get to learn more about the story and not, oh, I just wasted a whole bunch of time.
Right. It doesn't feel like oh, well, I didn't really get anything because I mean, if you get the more you go in and you get what is it, the dark material, the purple stuff. I don't know what
Yeah, the
else you
purple
call it.
stuff.
The purple stuff. Like cuz once you get the purple stuff, then you get to upgrade more stuff, and I didn't realize at first that stuff, I thought that stuff was temporary. Like no, that stuff is
Oh,
actually no, it's permanent. Like it
yep.
stays with you. So I was all worried that I spent 20 of those on a thing on a revive,
Oh yeah.
and it's
Nope, you're
like no,
fine.
like oh, that stays with you for every run. Oh yeah, I need that. I can start upgrading this stuff more, but I didn't know that to
Yeah,
start out with.
you want that and you want as many keys as you can
As
pick
many
up too.
keys, as many so yeah, the keys and purple materia. The gems seem not to be worth a ton.
The gems I think are primarily in the runs. No, that's the coins. What are the gems for?
The gems
Oh,
are
the
for
gems upgrade
to upgrade
the
the hell.
yeah, yeah. Those so I guess it's kind of very minor spoiler, but there is a merchant that you'll unlock where you
Oh,
can
I
kind of trade currencies back and forth.
yeah.
So like you can
I have
trade
that, yeah.
gems for purple stuff, or you can trade purple stuff for keys and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I found there's the tab for work orders, and the tab for work orders in that gems thing is actually valuable stuff.
Yeah,
But
the work
then,
orders are useful, and then the other
but
stuff is
like
all
the other stuff
aesthetic, I
seems
think.
cosmetic. Like I don't need an
Yeah.
ashtray for my room. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. Or you can like change the color of the drapes in the lounge. Like
I think
no,
that's
I'm
more
good.
for people that are trying to 100% the game.
That could be. But yeah, I like that game. As of right now, I could definitely see it falling toward the bottom of a top 10. But so, and Caleb, I don't know about you, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of heavy hitters this year in the top
Yeah,
five.
I
So,
haven't played enough of it yet to know where it's going to fall for me.
but it's
There's also
definitely.
more coming,
I know,
Yeah.
right?
so
So,
it's hard to tell.
and yeah, as I look at, yeah, I feel like I've already penciled a couple of those coming soons into the top 10. So,
Yeah, we'll
and who
see.
knows, right? Yeah, who
They
knows?
deliver.
Cyberpunk could suck. I don't know.
I mean, we'd all be shocked if that happens,
We
but
all
it'd be
would be,
tough if
but
it
yeah,
does.
who knows? So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing more of that. I'm playing it on the Switch, so it's one that I can. I just played it this weekend driving back and forth to Chicago, so that was a good.
You played it while driving?
I know it was. It was actually kind of nice having my wife drive for a while. I was like, so yeah,
Oh, you were in the passenger
passenger seat.
seat.
Oh
Mm.
yeah, yes. I did stop at that giant gas station though. It had a jerky bar, like a beef jerky bar. That thing was a little crazy. But it was the nicest bathrooms I'd ever been in. It's this huge gas station called Wally's, and they don't allow semis. So sorry for all the truckers listening, but yes, your bathrooms always are just the worst. Like truck stop bathrooms are the worst. So this place was immaculate. I mean, I think it only opened like a month ago, and you walked in, it was like this thing is incredible. But enough gas station talk. Uh, that was it for games, I think, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
So TV. Let's go back up, Caleb. What have you been watching on TV recently?
Man, what did I already forgot what I put on my list.
I don't know.
Do you I well, one thing that I watched is not interesting at all. It's I watched the entire run of the 1990 comedy Get a Life starring Chris Elliott. It's really bad. Don't watch that show. It's
Okay.
real bad.
I
Yeah,
will not travel back 30 years and watch a Chris Elliott sitcom.
right. It was kind of interesting watching just from kind of a, I don't know, historical perspective of Chris Elliott, but other than that, just not good.
He was destined to play rolling shit.
Yes,
And
definitely. And
that's
this is the beginning of that character too, in a lot of ways, from
okay.
this show. So interesting in that regard, but not really in any other. One thing that started this week that I was really excited about, is a show called Akudama Drive. This is anime,
That on
and
Crunchyroll?
no, it's on Funimation.
Oh, okay.
Uh, so the thing that I might be able to get you guys interested in is, this is the same writer and character designer of Danganronpa. So if you have been interested in what I've told you about Danganronpa, but don't want to invest dozens of hours, this is a great way to do it. So there's only going to be 12 episodes of the show, so I might. There's only one out so far, and I loved it. I thought it was amazing. The style is great. They set up a group of characters. They're kind of setting up kind of a Suicide Squad type of dynamic with these characters. It but it's not going to be as simple as Suicide Squad because this is the Danganronpa guy, so it's got to have a million other twists to it. But I'm really excited about the show. I will update once there's more out. They're just one a week for now, so yeah, there's that. And then the only other thing I've been watching is Fargo, which I'm guessing you guys have too.
I think we've all at least watched some Fargo. What episode is everybody on?
I haven't watched yesterday's yet.
So that's what, episode 4?
4. Yeah.
Or
Where are you? Where are you at, Jason?
Caleb and I are in the same spot.
Okay,
I've not watched. Is that last night's episode?
episode. Yeah.
Yep, I've watched 3.
I'm only through 2.
Yeah, we should probably just wrap that up after the season is over, I'm guessing, unless anybody has any outstanding thoughts.
I'm having a hard time getting into it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm. When Jason earlier you said, it's about the mobster stuff and everything, and everybody's got their taste. I think I'm about 50-50 on mobster stuff. This is definitely. I feel like this is not a Fargo season. Like, this does not seem like Fargo at all to me.
I see that.
It's not written the same. It doesn't have the same quirkiness of characters. Everybody's very serious all the time.
He hasn't seen what we've seen, Caleb. See, that's why this conversation is so hard.
The only character I have any sort of reverence for is Dr. Senator. And
Dr. Senator's great. Dr. Senator Esquire.
Yeah, I sent you guys a screenshot. There are things. Noah Hawley's still the creator and writer for the show, so it's the same guy. But there's when they decide they're going to write each individual person's name, like, that is in some way like an ambitious Fargo thing, because it's always been ambitious in different ways. And so they're literally like, whether or not this character is a big deal or not, they write all those names on the screen. They reveal each individual character from each side of the families, and then it lingers on Dr. Senator for like 5 minutes. That's an exaggeration, but he's just like
longer than the rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it is for me. I'm just having a hard time.
Logan, I think the thing that might help you out is the nurse. I think she's as close to the quirkiness as you get.
Yeah, I mean, she had her moment in the second episode where she went off about when they were going to fire her, and she got the severance package and everything else out of it and stuff. But yeah, I don't know what it is about it. It's not Fargoing it for me. I don't know what it is.
There's that, and then there's a scene that I won't mention.
I'm gonna keep going with it, but
there's one scene I think it's hilarious.
Okay.
There is a hilarious scene in the 3rd episode. Jason knows exactly what I'm talking about.
She goes places. Like,
okay, good.
They're almost too brave with her. Like, look, it goes from like 3 to like 11 with her. Like, she goes, like, she is the quirk. Like, regardless how serious everyone else is, and that includes Chris Rock, she goes wacky. Like, it just goes.
I thought she was going to be a one-off. Like, they paid her to kill the guy, the dad, or whatever, and then she was just going to go away.
No, turns out she just has a problem.
She just
turns out she's just what she is. Broken.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, she's probably, Caleb, would you think she's probably the most interesting character out of all of them for me? But that's on purpose, because she's the wild card out of everyone.
The only other ones that are even close to me are the escaped convicts.
Yes, one of those. Funny enough, the younger one is a main character on Yellowstone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was weird to see her play. She plays a Native American on both shows, actually, but one is obviously a criminal idiot, and on Yellowstone she plays a
oh wait, yeah,
was a master's. She's Casey's wife.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
in a university, and like, she's hyper intelligent on that show, so it's weird to see her back to back in such different roles. Especially how they insert her character in a hilarious situation in episode 3. But I don't want to disagree. I'm not disagreeing with you, Logan. I think this is so far my least favorite, but I also want to let's see it through, see what happens. It's still good TV, like good enough to see through, in my opinion. So I will see it through.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I mean,
definitely going to give it a
it's
couple more
tough.
episodes, but
It's also
yeah.
it's a little tough because like, well, season 2 is maybe my favorite season of any show ever, and then season 1 is not very far behind, and season
No.
3 is also an outstanding season
Hmm.
of TV. So like, it's really hard to compare something that's very good with things that are
Yeah, maybe it is
just
the
absolutely
expectation
excellent.
thing. Yeah, it's just it's like, yeah, I hold Fargo to a, you're going to put that Fargo name on it. You better come with it. And so far I have been bored to tears. Like, I mean, it has just been like I've just had a hard time even like focusing on it at all. And like, ugh, like I just don't care enough about the characters yet or something or what, but it's maybe there's too many, I'm not sure. But
I wouldn't disagree with any of that, and Caleb's right. The first and second season of Fargo are. I mean, I don't know whether we've talked. You can't rank seasons of TV across different shows, but if you were to do it, Fargo would be it'd be a heavyweight on that list and hard to get rid of those first two seasons if you were trying to
oh
make a
yeah.
list of that, right? So
Yeah.
it it it's a tough act to follow. It really
Yeah.
is.
Maybe there's a reason why there hadn't been a new season in 3 or 4 years. I mean, yeah. Anywho, Jason, you had a couple other things on your list other than Fargo.
Yeah, so Fargo was the main thing. Let's go with what I finished. I finished the Aaron Hernandez doc on Netflix.
Hmm.
Um, that was fine. It was good. It's
Killer,
short. It's just three episodes.
Killer Inside. Is that what
Yeah,
that's
Killer
called?
Inside, Aaron Hernandez, something or other.
Hmm.
Um, I can't remember the exact name. The name's kind of ridiculous. It falls into the rest of the Netflix. Like, I killed somebody. I'm a killer, murderer. Like, whatever.
Yeah,
It's
there's just a section of
generic
that
title.
basically. Yeah.
Aaron Hernandez, something or other. That's fine. It's really, um, it's mostly like they're kind of trying to make you feel uncomfortable. There's a lot of him talking to his daughter on the phone as she gets older from prison, and it's just like you already know how this story ends. So they're like, that's almost a little ham-fisted. Like, by the way, he has a daughter. By the way, talk to his daughter. By the way, he's going to kill himself. Oh, listen to him talk to his toddler daughter. Oh, listen, talk to his 3-year-old daughter. Like, it's it's kind of over the top, and it doesn't really serve a purpose in the story other than to make you. It's like it feels like it's manipulating you or trying to manipulate you on purpose. That kind of turned me off. But otherwise, it might serve as education to people that don't know enough about CTE, and it still doesn't quite get the CTE thing right
Mm.
when they're talking about it because they're drawing the link between concussions and chronic traumatic encephalopathy, and really it's not concussions, it's the constant hitting and the tau protein buildup. And they show these. They do. It is kind of stark when they literally show his brain on a table. Right, his family donates it, and you can see like they show pictures of Seau's brain and his brain, and how they're literally like missing parts of the brain. Like,
Yep.
so if it did have anything to do with how he acted, they certainly present that case. But also they're good about like then they cut to people who won't let him off the hook and say like, no, that's not an excuse. You don't act this way. Um, it was interesting. I wouldn't say I don't. Caleb, you've seen it, right? What do you think about
Yeah.
that?
It's average for
Yeah,
one of those crime docs. It's average.
yeah. I think Logan. I wouldn't recommend watching it, to be honest.
Wasn't
It's fine,
interested.
but it's yeah. If
You're
you're
not
not
going to learn
interested, then
anything
don't.
new necessarily.
Mm.
It's just it puts everything
Especially
together in more of a stylish way, but not
you
really anything new.
you follow sports well enough, you already know what happened. Like
Yeah.
you don't need to see it rehashed again. Um, then I moved on to the first episode of Lovecraft Country.
So did I.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Have you how many episodes of that
Just
are you
one.
in?
I just
Me
literally.
too. We're in the same spot.
I
Uh,
watched 3 episodes of that show and then dropped it. So that
Okay.
tells you where I was with it.
Okay.
after the first episode, I'm all in. I think it
The
looks
first episode is great. The
okay.
second and third ones are not good.
Oh no. So it
Okay.
starts off hot and uh, seemed
That
it.
first episode comes out swinging.
Yeah.
It's wacky.
Like it almost to me like if I'm based on the first episode, I'm saying like it's like a cross between like Watchmen and True Blood.
Yeah, so the show, their production was all sorts of screwed up with that show,
Mm,
and this was pre-COVID, so it was just screwed up for Hollywood reasons.
mm.
Um, and so that's why there's a lot of like disjointedness in the story. I don't know if you guys caught any of that stuff or not, but like, uh, for instance, the main girl whose name I've already
Letitia.
forgotten, um, yeah, she's talking to her sister, and she's like, "Oh, I need a place to stay for a few days," and she's trying to figure out job situations and all that. And then in like the very next scene, she's getting in the
She's
car with
packing in
these
the
dudes.
car.
Yeah,
I thought I'd walked out of the room and missed something.
right. There's a
Okay.
lot of stuff like that in there,
Huh.
that I think they just must have had to cobble together what footage they had. And
Interesting.
every episode kind of, at least in the first three, the second and the third episodes kind of completely changed genre too. It's all over the place. Sometimes it's horror, sometimes it's romance, sometimes it's like the low speed car chase was, I thought that was amazing. But at other times it's like we're gonna try to be Indiana Jones here for a while. It's all over the place, and I was really hard for me to stay invested in, just because it was so many things going on, and none of them seemed connected very well at all.
Yep. Okay. I was trying to figure out like okay, there's 10 episodes of it. The finale is next week.
I'll be
Hmm.
curious to see what you guys, if you guys do stick through it after watching a few more,
Just
because
watch.
I couldn't do it.
I'm just looking at like episode reviews. It appears the next two episodes are pretty rough. Episode 4 okay, 5 rough, and then 6, 7, 8, and 9 all look pretty good. So maybe they figured it out. I don't know. Um, also, now I'm curious. The girl that plays Letitia, her name's Journey Smollett. Is that Jesse's sister or any relation?
Could be.
Ooh, wouldn't want to be connected there. Uh, yeah, interesting. But yeah, that first episode's a banger. That's for sure.
The whole concept of like sundown towns is like, it's just every time they roll into a town, it's just horrifying. And the scene in the diner, oh, it's so good.
Hmm.
It's so good. Like, their uncle is defiant. He's like, he's like, no, no, damn it, we're eating here. And the other guy leaves, and you don't know, like, he leaves, but you think he's just pissed because African Americans are in the
Mhm.
establishment. No, he's going to get like a small army, and they're going to try to murder him.
Right. Yeah.
And, and they don't know that. And then she goes to the bathroom and overhears what he's saying, and then they discover the floorboard stuff, and she runs out like, "We
We
have got
gotta
to get the
get.
fuck out of here!" And they get in the car. It's just like that. Like, you're right, Caleb. That like high speed chase combined with the low speed chase at the
The
end,
low
where the
speed
tension,
chase.
it's like you're sweating bullets watching him.
Mhm.
He's watching the and you think they're out, and then you find out like, oh, it's only just, this scene has only just begun. Like, the third act of this episode is like fire. It's just so good. But that's kind of like, that's so disappointing because that first episode is so strong. And I don't know. I'll keep, Logan. You gonna try it?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I'm gonna
see
keep going
where
with
it
it. Yeah,
goes.
I'm gonna see how it goes.
You
Yeah.
gotta, if nothing else, you do have to respect it, because they really swung for the fences on this one. They did not play anything safe with this show at all.
And they recently were rewarded for that with Watchmen. So maybe like they're in that attitude. Plus, they've greenlit more than HBO's being braver than they've ever been. Like, they're greenlighting more stuff than they ever have this
Mhm.
year. I don't know if you guys, like, if I look at my list and like the things I'm gonna watch, it's like 75% of it is HBO. And so maybe I don't know. We'll see what Logan and I think. I think
Hmm.
the critics are like, I think it's
I think there's a
okay
love
as
hate
like a total body
relationship
of
with
work.
it. Yeah. Um, are you guys interested in Raised by Wolves at all?
I will check that out just because I'm into the sci-fi, but it is not being critiqued very well. So
I don't.
I've heard it's a love hate thing with that one too. Like that people, there's some people who really love it, and other people are like, this is pretty terrible.
I
if you want to
generally.
assign that to me, I'll take the bullet for us on that.
I generally just don't do hard sci-fi. So that's all you.
Hmm. All right, take the bullet on that one.
I
Uh,
only watched one other show. So Logan, did you watch anything else? Caleb, are you done with TV? You still got more
Yeah,
stuff?
I'm done. Yep.
oh, I know
Okay.
you're technically not done, but I know you're not, but we have something in common that we finished. Caleb, we finished The Boys.
Oh, we didn't. Oh, I thought that was last week for some reason.
You and I talked about it on the doorstep for 30 seconds
Oh,
because
that's why.
and
Yes.
because you were like, oh yeah, I finished it when you dropped something off, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch it this afternoon, and that was you're like you'll like the ending, and you're like it sets up well for the next season. I was like, okay, and I turned around and went and watched it, but Jason, I saw that you had that on your list too. I don't know how far you are in, so I don't want to say much at
I
this
think
point.
I'm on episode 3. I think I'm halfway through episode 3.
Okay, so what was the last thing
Uh,
that's kind of happened with you of any importance?
let me think about this.
I'm trying to think of episode three
Uh,
ish. What happened there?
the new
Stormfront.
Stormfront. Um, she and Starlight had a conversation about the way that she felt about Vought,
Okay.
um, and used her to smuggle the what's the superhero
The
serum,
V.
yeah, the V, from the guy who is like the lab rat, the human lab rat, and they just announced, um, they just did the leak. Her and Huey just did the leak into the
Okay.
news about how superheroes are created; they are not born.
So,
And Homelander was with his son when that announcement happened. So
Got it.
Jason, you're getting right into the spot where I started to get a little bored with this season.
hmm.
But just know that the finale I think is probably the best episode of the season. So
Okay,
Yeah.
keep that
eight
in mind.
episodes.
If
Eight
yeah,
episodes.
if you feel like you're starting to slog, just keep that in mind.
I think that yeah, the fourth episode for me, I'm just looking at what it is. It's pretty rough if I remember right. Four and five are not the best episodes. Um, but yeah, it starts to pick up a little bit more there at the end. I there was a couple episodes that were just a little slower for the boys, if
Mhm.
that for that show, uh, which means slower means less superheroes, more the boys. Yeah.
Okay.
um, so, but yeah, it's still yeah, I think it does have a good payoff at the end. There's a lot of good moments in that last episode, I guess I would say, for lack of a better term. But yeah, and it does set up well for a third season.
I think one thing that I is it what is Gus Fring's name? Caleb Giancarlo Esposito? Is that his name? The
That's his
actor?
actor's name, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I mean. His actual name. I have no idea what his name is in The Boys.
Oh yeah, I don't
Uh,
either.
I I like the character that he's playing because um, that guy will forever be Gus Fring to everyone, just because of the performance in that show. Like
Hmm.
even in that Far Cry trailer, he is doing the Gus Fring thing, you know. But in The Boys, he's different. He's definitely a different. He's playing a different role. Like he's still done like the corporate goody two shoes face in Better Call Saul / Breaking Bad, but he's a different guy. He's definitely not channeling Gus Fring in that character. So that's one weird like feeling the way I do about the Breaking Bad Saul universe. I really like him playing a different kind of character. And he's replacing, he's like is he the head of Vought from what I can
He
tell?
is the head of
And then,
Vought. I think he always
okay,
was technically the head of Vought. Uh, Elizabeth Shue was technically like she was over the seven, but
Yeah, she
Vought,
was like the head of superheroes or
yeah,
whatever.
Vought as a company, because they do entertainment, they do everything else. Like they were just, this guy's the head of Vought. But then there's a lot of other tentacles, it seems like, as the season progresses of Vought.
yeah, I think that show's okay. I mean, I do see why you guys are talking about the slow stuff, and
Mm.
I'm kind of not dreading watching the next ones. I'll burn through them, but I may not actively watch them as much as I have the first couple of episodes.
Mhm.
If they're that way, I might just second screen them so I can get to the good stuff.
Mhm. I mean, in all reality, you're not going to miss a whole lot of story plot there. There is,
Okay.
I would say that episode, I think that Caleb was talking about with Iceman, for lack of a better term.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember the actor's name. Quantum Break guy. There are some.
Right.
That would be the episode that there are some. There is a that might be worth paying attention to, even though it may not be exciting. There's no, it'd be the episode before. There's 2 episodes with him. He has a 2 episode arc, right?
Shawn Ashmore,
Shawn
right?
Ashmore. The first one is important. The second one is me.
Okay,
Even
I thought I
yeah,
was a little. They did Jennifer another
yeah. Jennifer Esposito.
They did her dirty.
Yeah, they
God, she's
did.
too much. She's too much of a fox to be on the screen for less than a minute. I
She
mean, come
really
on, what are you
is.
doing?
Yeah,
Gosh, she's
she was
so.
in the first
How
season a
old is
little
she,
more.
Logan? I mean, she's still got it.
She
Oh
was looking.
man.
She was probably in her early 20s in Spin City
Okay,
when
so
she was Mike's secretary.
so she's in her early 50s at most, maybe
Probably
late
she's got
40s.
that oh like she was always kind of the poor man's Jennifer Lopez in all reality. So I bet she is probably right around 50, because I think J Lo just turned 50 this year.
Oh man, you can keep JLo. Give me her all day. Oh, she's a fox. Speaking of old foxes, did you know Carly Gugino has a show on
She
Cinemax?
does. I saw that.
I had no idea.
Um
Just had no idea.
yeah.
She's still got it too. She's still
She
got her
still does.
fastball.
Oh yeah.
Whew, man, yeah. Sorry.
That thing's still
They were
going.
both on Spin City.
It's got a lot of movement. It only goes 87 now, but it's got a lot of movement on it.
Yep, I'll take it. Crafty veteran.
Crafty veteran. Uh, so yeah,
That's it for my TV.
that's
That's
it
it.
for yours. I also finished Ted Lasso, and god damn, that show's good. That
Way better than it has any right to be.
way better than it has any right to be. And I actually saw a commercial for it the other day, not on Apple TV, on like some other random thing, and one of the quotes was way better than it has any right to be. It was like from like Rolling Stone or something, and they're exactly right. That show's incredible. Like it is. Jason, you're gonna have to find a way to watch this.
Okay.
Like it's
Okay.
I think between the two of us now, when we're talking Toady, this is gonna be up there.
It
Okay.
would. I mean, it's almost for sure going to be on my top 10 of Toady conversations. So
It's
if that tells you how well I think of it.
I think it's gonna be top 5, easy.
We haven't built individual lists for this little project of ours, have we? Before?
Not for
No.
Toady before, only for game.
Maybe we should. We should do that.
Maybe we should.
Why not?
Yeah,
I
I think
know
we've
I'm not
evolved
gonna
enough.
make
We can do
any.
that.
I'm not going to make any production stuff for that, but if we want to
No,
make
no,
individual
no.
lists, that's fine.
No, that'll go on the website.
Yeah, the website, that thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
The blog. Yeah, that one.
Right.
We'll put it on our Tumblr.
Mm-hmm. Or GeoCities account.
Even better.
Yeah.
Angel Fire, anyone?
Angel
Okay,
Fire,
that's it.
maybe.
I'm out of references.
God, is there anything else? I feel like there was something else I might have watched, and now it's lost on me. Nah.
See, this is why you do the list, Logan.
No, oh no, it was just The Boys. That was it. I was like, I finished
Okay.
an hour-long show. What was it? Oh, The Boys. Yeah. So yeah, that was. So I think we'll be doing more Fargo, more Lovecraft Country. Caleb, what do you go? Are you you got any shows that you're gonna start next, or have any idea?
Not right now. There's a bunch of anime coming out. It's
Ah,
it's it's the beginning of a quarter, so that means there's a bunch of new anime. So we'll check some of that out.
the Anime Quarterly. I'll have to pick that one up next time. Now newsstands
Ah,
everywhere.
yes.
There are literally like every quarter, there are literally about probably 25 to 30 new anime shows that start. Like every 3 months, this happens. It's pretty great.
Hey, real quick, before we adjourn,
hmm
um, there wasn't any news in gaming this week, was there? I
Uh,
didn't see anything.
there's been a little bit of news here and there. Nothing I can think that really jumps out. Oh, the one thing that did jump out at me was Japan has officially decided that circle is no longer the confirm button. It is now X is now the confirm button for
No
PlayStation.
kidding.
Yeah. So
Wow.
they have
On
on
on a hardware level, that
on a
is
hardware
true.
level. On a software
Game
level, can be whatever
developers,
they want it to be.
yep.
Mm. Wait a second. Are Japanese controllers different? Are those
No,
buttons
No.
swapped?
no, but on Japanese consoles, hitting circle
Circle
is
has been
confirm and X is back
Yeah, I
because that's the
remember
way.
that from
Yeah,
the
Metal Gear.
original Final Fantasy. That the
yep,
trilogy on PlayStation 1 was all circle confirm, right,
hmm
Caleb?
yeah,
Metal Gear's
Yeah.
always been that way.
Oh, that too.
hmm
Wow, I've
yep.
forgotten that. Okay.
But I think in every other country except for Japan, X is confirm, or the
Hmm.
bottom button. So on Xbox it's A. Oddly enough, on the Switch it's a B. Because
So is
it's
Switch changing? Because isn't the lower right button on Switch confirm?
It
yeah,
depends on the game.
depends on the game. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
because
In Zelda and Mario are the two that I'm pretty sure it's
mhm.
confirmed
And I think
on.
it's the right button is confirm on that. I don't
Which
know
would
why
make
my
sense because
brain
those are both Japanese.
I think my brain automatically just does that
Hmm.
on a Nintendo. I don't know why. But if I hold a PlayStation controller in my hand, I'm pressing X to confirm. I don't. It's a, I'm trying to think of any other gaming news this week. I think it's been
I
semi
didn't see much.
light.
That's why I was asking.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I didn't.
they're just showing. So I mean, I think Xbox is showing like, oh hey, here's how you do fast switch or whatever they're calling it. Quick resume.
Um, Bugsnax has a release date.
Oh yes, Bug Snacks is the day and date with the PlayStation 5 now. It's Bug Snacks. Um, so yeah, my daughter and I watched a little bit of the. They've got some gameplay stuff of that. She's already drawing pictures of them all. That game is basically a cross between Pokemon Snap and Viva Pinata, like all in one. I don't know. Did you guys watch any of the gameplay footage of that or anything?
No, I
Uh,
want to check it out, but
yeah, it's uh, you try to capture them. So it's like you'll find them out in the wild. You watch their patterns of how they move, and then you try to capture them. But the more complex they are, like if you want to catch a Frider, because it's a cross between French fries and a spider, you have to go pick some ketchup off a ketchup plant, throw the ketchup on the ground to get the ketchup to track the Frider, and then he'll go down to where you want him to go. There's also a bunger, which is a cheeseburger that with the curly fries as legs. And he's runs around like an angry rhino, and the only way to get him like dazed enough to stop is to throw a ketchup bottle on a bush, so he'll run as hard as he can into the bush, and then it'll daze him and knock him out, and then you can capture him.
I think this game is for your daughter.
It
Like
definitely
it's
is.
just like like let's just do market research, and then they just have a big room with one chair and it's Elsa just sitting there. Like,
hmm
what do you like? And then she just rattles off random stuff, and they're like, yes, this is gold. This is gold. Yes,
Yeah.
more. Yes,
hmm
okay, right. Okay, the ketchup plant. Yes, okay, go on.
Yeah, there's a plant that you have to like where do you get ketchup? Well, it grows on a plant. Oh, of course. Like why wouldn't it? And you just pick it and you slingshot it at stuff. Like that's this game. Yeah, it looks right up her alley. This is going to be the go-to game. But the problem is like it's only going to be on PlayStation. Hmm. I wonder if here's a question: if I buy it on PS5, will it also play on a PS4 under my same account?
I think so,
Don't know.
but I don't
Ah,
know for sure. I don't
You
yeah,
know.
might
I
want
think
to, if you want to do that, you might want to buy it on the PS4
yeah. Hmm.
because I bet it'll translate up, but I don't know if it'll translate back.
But then could I
there's
play
been
at the same time? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like if I had two TVs going, could I be playing Miles Morales on this TV under my account and she play Bugsnax on that TV also under my account?
some of the news, and it's just not really news, but
Hmm.
there have been some things about how Sony's going to handle cross gen, and the line is definitely harder in
Hmm.
Sony's platform than Xbox.
Hmm.
You know, they're drawing a clear line between versions and stuff like that,
Hmm.
whereas Xbox has a little bit more.
Lenient, yeah.
Yeah, put the disc in here, it'll run here. Put the
Hmm.
disc in here, it'll run here, kind
At
of
the
a
same
thing.
time, you can't be logged into an Xbox account in two different locations either.
I didn't know that. I mean, I do you know that for sure,
Oh
Logan?
yeah,
You've tried that at
I've
home.
with having two Xboxes, I've known this before. Yeah, you cannot be signed in two separate locations. So
Mm-hmm.
even though it's the same house, it looks at it as, yep, you're signed into Xbox Live. You can
Yeah,
only be signed in once.
pick a
So,
console.
hmm
Yeah, okay.
so yeah.
My only other news thing was I thought it was interesting that they partnered with Daniel Kaluuya for that trailer, the system trailer. Did you guys see that? The Series X trailer. The actor from Get Out and Queen and Slim, and that episode of Black Mirror, I think is where our first time I saw him.
Mm.
Uh, that's just a it's a like he's super hot right now, so they brought in a really hot actor to promo their console. You look at it, Logan. It's like this weird abstract, like
Hmm.
super animation trailer. Like it means nothing. It's like it's like if you dropped him into the world of Control. I don't know how to
Hmm.
describe it. Super abstract and weird. Did you see it, Caleb? You see that
No, I
trailer?
haven't.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a he's
Hmm.
on there. His 3D rendering is on their YouTube banner. Microsoft or Xbox's sorry YouTube banner. Like they're going hard with the marketing on him.
I,
So
there's gonna be there's probably gonna be a lot more Xboxes available day one, I think, than with the pre-orders, or at least semi close to it, because they seem to really be pushing a marketing piece on this, and I don't think Sony's doing anything. And maybe they don't. Seems odd that I've already seen people being like, "Oh yeah, there's already like the PlayStation 5's outselling the Xbox One or Xbox Series X." Well, that just means that they had more PS5s available than the Series X because they're all both sold out. It's not like one is available somewhere.
yeah, maybe I don't. It'd be interesting to see what the unit numbers and what their source is on those unit
There
numbers,
was like an
and
IGN article, and I mean it
it's
was
kind of just noise at this point,
yeah,
this early.
like it just seems odd. Like, well, okay, like they're both sold out. I can't go and buy one anywhere. So,
I
A
wonder if
lot
you're
of
right,
those.
Logan. My sorry to interrupt, Caleb.
That's okay.
Um, just real quick, I just now got billed for my PS5 pre-order from Target. Like I think they were waiting this long. Whenever that happened, I can't. What day was that? A month ago? I can't
um,
remember.
yeah,
Around a month.
I've
I
had a
just got
pending
billed for it.
I've had a pending charge.
Yeah, it just went through for me. So I wonder if like they've been allocating some of that stuff in the background, and so I feel pretty confident now that my PlayStation 5 is going to ship. I have an order number confirmation for my Xbox Series X, like, but I haven't been billed for it, and I won't be billed for it until that ships. So Target is pretty confident I'm getting a PlayStation 5 enough to bill me, but that hasn't happened with Microsoft Direct yet.
Mm,
Even though I have a confirmation email and all that stuff, like there's nothing else I can do. I ordered that. They have my credit card number and all that stuff. But I wonder if you're right, like will all the PlayStation inventory just be taken for a week, 2 weeks, and will Microsoft strategically put boxes in stores? I don't know.
no
Logan,
idea.
Go
I
ahead,
don't
Caleb.
I don't know if it was the same story that I saw or not, but one of those stories that said that the PS4 was outselling was based on a Twitter poll of which console did you buy. So all that really proved was that more people on Twitter bought PS4s than Xboxes. And so
That's
that's
stupid.
garbage data.
That is pretty trash. I mean, that
Yeah.
is wow. That's bad.
You mean the person that didn't pre-order either that clicked one too? I
Yeah.
mean,
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
right.
So no actual
Well,
numbers.
whatever.
Interesting, but I do know that. I mean, I talked to that guy at GameStop one day, and he said that he thought they were going to be getting an allocation in beyond pre-orders for day one. Was what he was based on some information he had gotten. He thought that they were going to be, and it was for the payment plan ones. So
I actually talked to the manager of the East Peoria store. I think it was East Peoria, but he said that I'm a friend of a friend, and I asked him like how many PlayStation 5 pre-orders did you guys get? And I think he said 18. And then I said how many Xbox, and he said it was like 11 or something like that. So they didn't get very many of either.
no, 18 is actually more than I thought they were going to get. I mean, trying to think of yeah, I wonder. I mean, did they even get like a discless one at all? I mean,
Yeah, he said that like there were employees that wanted to pre-order like for a friend or whatever, and they didn't have enough to even cover all of those.
oh,
So
I wouldn't be surprised if they even sold one to a single random customer that walked
yeah,
in and was like, "Hey, I want to pre-order a PlayStation." I was like, "Really? Like, yeah, they're gonna."
yeah, it was what it was. If you don't know somebody that works there,
You're
even if you do know somebody that works there, you might not get one.
right.
So
That's kind of what I thought. So yeah, because I remember seeing signs that GameStops were saying, "Okay, this is how many Series X's we're getting," and it was like they were getting 10 Series X's and 2 Series S consoles. It was like, wow, okay, yeah, like that's gonna go in 2 seconds, and they were all handwritten on, so it made you even think too, like, okay, yeah, how many of those were pre-sold to employees and friends of friends and stuff like that. So, anyway, all right. Anybody have anything else for the day? All
No.
right.
basketball's over, and I'm sad about that.
I am very sad about basketball being over. I yeah, the bubble was great, and that was some of the best basketball we've seen.
Adam Silver is now the foremost expert on coronavirus response.
I'd be okay
He's
with that. If we want to just
him
like
and
put him in charge, that's fine.
I'm not a big hockey guy, but him and Gary Bettman, like
Like,
they clearly know how to listen to a scientist and make a thing that we thought was impossible happen. So good for them. They did it.
how have we not just
And
expanded the bubble? Like, how is it not just like every day we like move it
To let a
out
few
a
more
little
people in.
farther? Like it's and
Everybody's at Disney World eventually. Disney
right.
World is the entire U.S. and
Oh
we're all
God,
part of
yeah.
it.
Somebody would end
this
up.
just in: hurricane wipes out entire U.S. population in bubble. Oops.
We'd all have magic bands. Like at this, like we gotta. Yeah,
I don't know what to do without. I'll once the World Series is over, like
there's gonna be nothing.
I'm gonna have to like seriously just I'm gonna switch to games done quick. Like just okay, what streams next? Which one's next? Like I don't know what else to do, and I can't Maybe I can't. There's gambling on video games. Maybe I'll look into that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll do that.
Is there an underground Mortal Kombat gambling ring?
No, but I think that Salty Bet, I think, is a place where you can
I think that still exists. Yeah.
bet on professional gaming.
You can bet
In
on professional
preparation
gaming on
of
DraftKings.
yeah, I think, but it's like it's different. Like that's league.
Yeah.
It's more like esports, like organized event stuff. I'm pretty sure that you can do DFS for that, but I think Salty Bet is more like, okay, here's Evo, here's the
Well,
odds for these two players, and then you bet on those.
well, here's the other thing is that it seems like football might be a 7-day a week sport now. So
That's true. Yeah, the way
there's a
that it's
game on
going.
Tuesday this week.
Yeah, tomorrow, right? Yeah. I even put some money on the NFL game tonight, and I've never done that. Just to make my life a little more
You know what's
interesting.
going to happen? You're going to start watching wrestling again.
No,
Oh,
never.
no.
I saw that there was the reason why I know confidently, Logan, that I won't do that is this actually isn't AEW related. So AEW may be fantastic, and I don't know it. But I saw that they were doing a draft. I saw the tile on YouTube TV, and it was like SmackDown tonight, the draft, and I was like, no, God, not a. They must be in real bad shape if they're doing a draft.
They do it twice a year, I think. Well, actually,
Twice?
Yeah, I mean they got to keep the storylines fresh all the time, so they're trying to.
There are better ways to keep storylines fresh.
Yeah, that's why I don't really watch WWE at all anymore. I keep semi-tabs on it just through peripheral stuff here and there, but yeah, AEW is still alright. This week's their 1-year anniversary show.
Wow, that seems fast.
Yeah,
wow.
All their titles are up for grabs this week, so it's like a mini pay-per-view if you're feeling semi-interested in something now that the bubble's over. So you DVR it or something, and
I have it in my DVR. I've never watched it, but I do have it in my DVR.
If they're going to do anything, it would probably be this week. That would be semi-interesting. So probably good matches and stuff. So
in my excitement for the release of MK11 Ultimate, as they're calling it, with the Rambo announcement.
Oh yeah,
I watched a couple of there's a YouTube channel that's big enough that has a big enough following that hosts Mortal Kombat tournaments that there's cash prizes for professionals. It's nothing major. It's like a couple $1,000. It's not like these organized events like by the publishers. But there was a guy who was using Scorpion, and he was doing stuff that no one has seen Scorpion do before. And so he won this tournament. And so all this time I've been thinking the Scorpion has limitations. This guy has blown that out of the water. And then he challenged the best player in the world to a match, and he beat him with Scorpion. The best player in the world had to change characters. Sonic Fox plays as Joker and won every tournament as Joker. And this guy beat him with Scorpion. And I was like, MK11. All right, here we go. Game of the year. May not count. I don't know. But yeah, that got me kind of back into a Mortal Kombat streaming phase a little bit. Because this guy I was like, you can do that? You can put those two things together? No one's done that yet? And it was kind of interesting. People were discovering new tech 2 years. How long has that game been out? A year and a half? Year and a half.
Yeah, it was April of 19. Yeah.
Yeah, a year and a half later, people are still finding new strategies, that's new to me. I mean, maybe that's the way all fighting games have always been, or League or Dota or whatever has always been. But that was enlightening for me. I don't think I could ever press the buttons like this guy. Whew, boy, impressive.
Interesting. All right. Well, we will call it a week. Well, I thought you were going to tell me that you went and watched a bunch of Rambo movies after the Rambo announcement. I mean, maybe
I've already watched all the Rambo movies, but I would do that again if you want if you want me to come back. And that first one's good. I don't care what anybody. Brian Dennehy, that movie's good. The first one, First Blood. It's a good movie.
Blood Part 2.
Yeah, you gotta love the way those are titled too. It's like don't do that. And they did it, and they didn't care. Like, okay,
just do it.
All right, fine, sure. That's fine.
Oh, well, that's been the Master of Unlocking for this week. We'll be back next week.
Jason, stay on for a quick sec after we drop.
Okay.
Go ahead, Logan. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure he didn't drop.
I'm so confused. Anyway, it's been Master of Unlocking for this week. We'll see you later.